It's May 9. My jobs continue here at Prince Diamond, trying to get the boat ready for sale. I've got an order in for cushions. They're going to be tremendously expensive, almost 9,000 EC, which is about $4,500 Canadian. That's a lot of money. But they're going to look great when they're finished, we can hope. This here is caused all my problems with the water maker when one of these chlorine filters expired, and I believe that's what killed the water maker. Well, I have a new one here now. We're going to flush all the chlorine out of the system, and once it's all out, remove the old damaged membrane and install this new bazooka. This is a replacement membrane from Film Tech. Apparently, according to the description on a YouTube video, it's not very difficult to replace, so we're hoping that will go smoothly. And now into the hellhole, and we'll see if we can get this water maker to flush out all of the chlorine that had managed to get in there. Okay, so now I've got the old filter completely flushed out with the newly dechlorinated water from the tank, courtesy of the new chlorine filter. There should be no more chlorine anywhere now past that filter. So now I'm going to start to dismantle some of this. This has to be moved. The little diverter switch has to be moved. And possibly the accumulator has to be moved. These are not big jobs, it's just removing their mounting screws so that I can remove 5 and loosen 1 of these bolts that hold the entire water maker unit to the bulkhead. And that way I'm going to be able to rotate it around the bottom bolt to rotate it this way out so I can get access here to the high pressure vessel. That's the end cap of the high pressure vessel that I have to take off. And so it needs to be moved out in a way that I can get it off, as well as being able to pull the membrane element out of it and put the new one in, and then it'll go back into place. Now with the upper bolts of the main unit removed, it wants to fall back into the lazarette. So I've got it roped up a bit, and I'm going to remove 2 of the bolts in the bottom and just loosen the middle one. That'll anchor it in position. And then after the replacement of the membrane, I'll be putting it all back together again. Well, having the proper wrench for this side over here to hold that nut steady hasn't stopped me from being able to get it with a pair of small channel lock pliers. And then loosening this off. This is a high pressure fitting, and it has to be done right. Okay, that's basically it. Now I can start bolting stuff back on. Well, job done finally. It was a lot harder bolting that thing back to the wall with the 6 bolts than I thought, because I'm here by myself, so I got to go set up a wrench in some way that it won't fall, and then run to the other place, which is either in the starboard cockpit locker here or then down below in the starboard cabin, and then drive the bolts in from that side. So it wasn't easy. Sometimes you'd make a couple of turns and you'd hear the tool falling off the end of the nut on the other side, so you'd have to come back up and reset it. Anyway, I'm just running it now to expel the storage chemicals out of the new membrane. I'll do that for 20 minutes, then we'll make water just for a few minutes just to make sure it's working okay, and then I'm going to set it up with its storage chemicals. And then that job will be done. It'll hold for 6 months. Well, it's May 19, and this is the end of the story for Prince Diamond. We're here on the Hard at Grenada Marine, and I've been working on the boat for quite a few days, a couple of weeks I guess, and getting it all ready to be sold. It looks quite a bit different now, I think, than the way it did before. The personal items are now gone, and it's been reduced much back to the way it was when I first got it from Sunsail back in 2012. There have been a lot of improvements, of course. Solar panel, wind power, water maker, many other little things, but it no longer really has a stamp of being my boat anymore. I've done a lot of cleaning, tidying, and putting away. Not so tidy in here maybe, but I've got one more night to live on board, and then tomorrow I fly home. So I assume by the time that people are watching this, the boat probably has been sold. Well, let's hope so. Since now it's just after the middle of May in 2019. So I thought I'd just take a quick look here around to show you how it looks at this point. This cord coming across here, this is an external cord that's been run out to the shore power here in order just to drive the dehumidifier, which I'll start up when I leave. Try to keep the mold down. Many of the sails and the Bimini and the Dodger are in here, and some of the cushions from the cockpit. There's some stuff hanging around here that I'm going to be bringing home when I return. I'm assuming I'm going to have to come back to the boat at some point when we have a serious buyer. Along with getting the boat prepared to be sold, it's also, of course, been prepared for the hurricane season, which is going to be starting up very soon. Grenada is usually a pretty safe place to leave a boat, but it has had its hurricanes from now and then. The saloon seat cushions here are all going to be replaced. As you can see, they're in pretty bad shape. And the cushions themselves are all crushed down, especially at that point in the middle of the view there where people would tend to sit while on passage. So the cushions are already been cut over at Turbulent Sails here at the boatyard, and they're just waiting now for the material, this indoor sunbrella material to come. Out here the canvas has all been taken down. And up on the foredeck, what Beneteau calls the windscreen, and what I always used to call the brow window, or some people call it the deck window, that was removed, but not without me breaking it as I removed it, which is what usually happens. And so there's a tarp covering over the hole there. The broken pieces of windscreen are sandwiched there in the tarp, and it's all been strapped down for hurricane season. And in about 4 weeks' time, the staff here will come and replace that window. So replacing the window and doing the cushions are the two big things. Water maker membrane's been replaced with a new one, and that was not a difficult job, I'm glad to say. All seemed to work out pretty well. So I'm going to take you for a little walk around this boatyard right now so that you can take a look and see where I've been living the last little while. A survey was done just a couple of days ago on Friday, and the survey guy came, did his looking around the boat, and the sales agent came as well and took photographs later on that the same day. There's our hard, long-suffering dinghy. Managed to make it through to the end, thank goodness. There's the tie-down straps for the brow window or the windscreen. Yeah, so the boat's been spruced up. It looks pretty nice. I spent about 2 weeks cleaning and tidying, putting stuff away, going under the floorboards and all of that stuff, getting it all cleaned out. That's the main office there for the boatyard, Grenada Marine. This is actually a very nice place. It's quite quiet now. It's not nearly as full of boats as it used to be. According to someone I was talking to just recently, they got a lot of competition here from Clark's Court Bay Marina when it reopened, because they have a very large travel lift. This one here had all the traffic for catamarans and such, because it has a very wide travel lift, but Clarkscourt Bay is even larger, so now it's been stealing some of their business. But this place is going to fill up. We're not quite into the hurricane season yet, so this place is usually packed. And all of this open area here, which is now like a driveway, that will have rows of boats in it as well. Over here is a restaurant on the Boatyard, a place which is not cheap, but its food is just excellent. Really excellent. As a matter of fact, we haven't had any bad meals while being here in Grenada. It's quite spectacular. The food has been excellent everywhere. And that building right there at the center of the screen, along with being Customs and Immigration, which we didn't use, obviously, is an outlet of Island Water World. And if they don't have it, they can get it from Island Water World in St. George's in about a day's time. I actually ordered something there, and it was here later that same day. And over here is the sail loft of Turbulence Sails. They fixed up the mainsail and its bad batten pocket, as well as repairing the lazy bag. And that's a washroom building, and behind there's 4 completely separate toilet and shower combinations. Very nice. And that's a rigging shop, and you want to know, I never even realized it was there. I've had no real reason to be over here, so I've had no dealings with those people there at all. Now that's about the extent of where I normally walk. Heading up farther north here into the Boatyard. I've only been up here once before on just a little walk in the evening. Over there in the center of the screen now is the canteen. I've never used their services either, but you can order a lunch there and they'll have it ready for you at a particular time. And I believe that's also where the staff here eats and where their change room is. So it's more or less a staff headquarters, I guess, for the workers here in the yard. Today is Sunday, so it's quite quiet here. I fly home on Monday morning. There's a couple of large hangar type buildings, I suppose for painting boats, whatever is necessary when you need protection from the elements. And as you can see, the Boatyard continues on up there. It goes on for quite a distance. When you're driving up the access road to this place, you go by the boats for quite a while, for about 1 kilometer, I guess. Prince Diamond's over there behind that wreck of a boat at the center of the screen there. Looks like probably a victim of one of the hurricanes. By the time that you're watching this video, I would think that perhaps the blog website, svprincediamond.com, may no longer be operating. But obviously the YouTube channel is still going strong. And the big announcement that I can make to you is that I'm going to be going through the blog and the video blog and combining the words and ideas from both of those sources and writing a book. And I hope the book will be available on Kindle and in paperback form. Presumably the title of the book will be Sailing Around the World, The Adventures of Prince Diamond. So I'll leave the appropriate URL for buying this book in the comments below, and perhaps here on the screen as well, as long as it's not too long. and I hope you want to check that out and enjoy it. It'll be a vastly expanded version of a combination of the ideas from the YouTube channel and the words from the blog. And that's it. That's the end of the adventures of Prince Diamond for me. This boat will become somebody else's, and I hope they have just as many wonderful times as I did. So goodbye and thank you for watching.